This is the Flight electric motor system. So I've taken all the items out of the box to show you what's included. First, we have our 32-volt power supply, our electric motor handpiece tubing, the electric motor module, and the electric motor itself, and an extra bag of O-rings that you can use to replace on the electric motor. So first, now let's set up the unit. Let's connect everything onto there. So on the back of your unit, you have several different connection points there. This is your on-off switch. You have your connection for your power supply, your connection for your electric motor handpiece tubing, and your connection to your utensil unit, which will be supplying the air and the water to the system. So on your electric motor, there's two different ends. There's one with a plastic sleeve and there's one with a metal sleeve. So the plastic sleeve one goes on the back of the unit. So I'm just going to slide that off first, and we're going to just line up the holes so we can connect it to the back of the unit. So I'll line it up first, make sure it's all seated nice and flat, and then we're going to start to screw that in. And we're going to get the electric motor. Again, we're going to slide the sleeve down so that we can line up the connections. So you'll see here, there's the two connections there that will go to these two with the brass fittings. So slide it on flush. Okay. And then we'll screw that on. Next, we're going to grab the handpiece tubing from our dental unit. And you can use a 4-hole, 5-hole, or a 6-hole tubing. We have here a 4-hole tubing. Again, slide the sleeve down, the nut down, and we're going to line up the holes. Make sure it's flat, flush with the connection, and then we're going to start to screw that in. Make sure both of them are nice and tight. We're going to get our power supply, and we're just going to connect that to the back of the unit. Okay, and then we can turn on the unit. So let's first look at the top of the unit. There's a little sticker here that gives you a reference on the 3 different functions that you have. So you have your 16:1, which is your endo, your 1:1, which is your slow speed, your 1:5, which is your high speed, and it'll give you a reference on the speeds that they can run at. So your 16:1 will run at 100 to 2500 RPM. Your 1:1 will run at 2000 to 40,000 RPM, and your 1:5 will run at 10,000 to 200,000 RPM. So we're going to come back and look at that guide there in a second once we show you each one of them. So your 16:1, again, when you select that, you can adjust your speed from 1 all the way up to 25. So the 1 corresponds to 100 RPM, and then all the way up to 25, which is 2500 RPM. And this moves in increments of 100. So as you move. On your 1:1, it'll go from 2 to 40. And that represents 2000 RPM all the way up to 40,000 RPM. So this moves in increments of 1000 starting at 2000 RPM. Your 1:5 will go from 10,000 RPM to 200,000 RPM. So you'll expect that to go from 1 all the way up to 20. So this moves in increments of 10,000 RPM per unit increased. You also have your reverse, forward for the motor direction. And then you have 2 memory positions that you can set. So for example, if we want to set the 1:1 at 5,000 RPM, so we're going to select we're going to select 5, and to memorize that position or memorize that setting, we're just going to press and hold it. You'll hear a beep, and that'll illuminate, showing that at M1 now. If you wanted to set the 1 to 5 as your second memory position, you're going to move it. We'll do it at 20. Press and hold it. Again, it'll illuminate, and that it will set it. So if we click M1, you'll be at 1:1 at 5,000 RPM. You have also here your power button. So this is if you want to just turn on the unit. When you press that, motor will turn on, light will turn on, Unfortunately, there's no water on this. So to control this from your rheostat, you connect the handpiece, and you're going to step on your rheostat, and that will control your electric motor system.